Hi, everybody. Let me introduce you to Dr. Harleen Grewal. She is a dentist out of California, and she's getting some notoriety here recently because a clip has come out of her speaking at some sort of conservative, like dinner or something like that. Whatever the case may be, she gets up there and she does like really bad stand-up, and I'm not going to make you sit through all of it. But one thing in particular, she says, is definitely worth hearing.
So in my office, Skyline Smiles, I have a secret hat I use sometimes. It says, make your smile great again. So I wear that when I work on my patients. So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, you got this. It's not as bad as you think it is. I stole that from Joe Biden.
Yeah, this is her practice. It's funny because I went there to see if they were addressing this in any way, and boy, are they not. They're too busy making story posts like this. A patient testimonial. I guess you thought that this one was a Republican, so they got adequate care. Although I believe they're aware because comments have been limited, and they're not letting people post comments. What's kind of disturbing to me about all this, aside from the obvious, I believe they work quite a bit with children based on the videos that they do. Are you not providing adequate pain management even to children based on their parents and what you think their political leanings are? You didn't say that, and I'm not saying that. I'm asking a question. But something does make me wonder if this was intentional on her part, because apparently in beginning of September, like the 9th of this year, she posted this. I mean, did you write this and post this and then go, hold my beer to yourself and say, let me see? Because I don't know that people, per se, were going to get you canceled. But it feels like maybe you canceled yourself. I don't know what the laws are in California about a dentist claiming that they wouldn't provide adequate pain management to clients based on their political beliefs. I know I've already had people who are kind of high up who said they sent this to Gavin Newsom. So I wonder if he has any thoughts on it. If this is you testing proof of concept, I guess we're all going to find out with you.
Did you see this video of this MAGA dentist talking about the biases that she has towards Democrats and how she modifies care for them?
So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, you got this. It's not as bad as you think it is.
So this might have sounded like this was a MAGA open mic, but these were no jokes. The person you saw in the video was Dr. Harleen Grewal, like she said, of Skyline Smiles in Santa Clarita, California. She is also online as the MAGA Dentist, and she absolutely has MAGA stuff all over her office. She is very unprofessional as a healthcare provider, making her patients feel uncomfortable with all of this Trump memorabilia. And she should absolutely have her license reviewed if she is changing her care depending on people's political affiliation. Medical professionals, even dentists, have to take an ethical pledge saying that they will do no harm. It doesn't say do no harm unless it's a lib. However, I'm sure there are more MAGA medical professionals who feel the same way she does. She's just one of the people dumb enough to say it out loud. And I'm guessing as an immigrant, which she talks about being, she is trying to show the MAGA people just how down she is with the racist cause. But it doesn't matter how hard you try, they will never like you. And during this little open mic, she didn't destroy the libs. She destroyed her credibility.
It's not as bad as you think it is.
So that is Harleen Grewal of Skyline Smiles. Throughout that video, she's bitching about liberals, of course, and then goes on to say that she intentionally causes liberals more pain when they come into her office. That's a bold statement for someone whose office is in Santa Clarita, California, which is in Los Angeles County, that voted about 65% for Kamala Harris. Their Instagram and TikTok is Skyline Smiles SC, if anyone felt the need to go to those. Now, they did shut off the option to leave them reviews on their Facebook page, but their comments are not off if anyone would like to head over there and let them know what you think about how they treat their patients.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So I'm sure you all heard of the so-called MAGA Dentist. And if you haven't, then you have to stick around. So a California dentist by the name Dr. Harleen Grewal has gone viral, or is going viral, but not for her dental skills. She's trending after a resurfaced video showed her joking about how she treats patients differently depending on their politics, and now she's facing a serious backlash. And in this resurfaced video, Dr. Grewal says she wears a hat that reads, "Make your smile great again," a play on Donald Trump's slogan of making America great again. She goes on ahead and says that if a patient complains, she will sometimes quietly cut back on the laughing gas. And she even joked about asking patients, how is the Biden's economy? Yeah, this is actually a resurfaced video, but now it's trending, and she had to go and delete her TikTok accounts, delete all her videos. There is another dental hospital with the same name, Skyline, that is actually facing a backlash from this. But guys, this is from California. She's from California and not from Chicago, because there is another Skyline Smiles from Chicago that people are calling them, sending emails, leaving bad reviews on their page because of this woman. But the Skyline Smiles that she's working at is in California and not in Chicago. But I want us to watch these videos together, guys. It's quite crazy that she was this bold enough and later come out and say that it was just a joke. And she even went on ahead saying that the dental board investigations cleared her and they saw nothing wrong with it. To me, I think it's a lie, because I've tried to research and see if there's something of the sort, but I haven't seen anywhere dental board investigation have said that they cleared her. But the video is getting a lot of attention, and I want us to watch these clips together. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on this episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screen. So let's just dive right ahead and come back with more commentary.
So meet the so-called MAGA Dentist, Dr. Harleen Grewal of Skyline Smiles in California. She proudly wears a MAGA hat in her TikToks and literally brands herself as the MAGA Dentist.
It was so much better in my office when the dents stayed home during COVID with their masks on. I wish they still did. So I have a secret hat I use sometimes. It says, "Make your smile great again." So I wear that when I work on my patients. So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, "You got this. It's not as bad as you think it is."
Did you catch that? She admits to cutting back pain meds mid-procedure if she thinks her patient is a Democrat. That's not just politics, that's medical discrimination and patient harm. Healthcare isn't a partisan game. It's supposed to be safe, ethical, and equal. Denying anesthesia or any oral analgesics because of your beliefs, that is dangerous and unacceptable. So here's our call to action. We are going to report her immediately to the California Dental Board. Share this video so people know what's happening at Skyline Smiles and demand accountability, because if this stands, no patient is safe.
That is Dr. Harleen Grewal. She's a dentist. She has branded herself as the MAGA Dentist. This is her TikTok account. She works at Skyline Smiles in Santa Clarita, California. This is her, dentist page, if you will. She is caught on mic stating that she gauges the reactions of her patients to a wall that she has in her office that is filled with MAGA, figureheads or whatever. And she wears a hat that says "Make Smiles Great Again." She gauges the reactions of her patients to figure out which ones are Democrats and which ones are Republicans, and then she purposely cuts back on the laughing gas of patients who are Democrats to inflict more pain on them. So this is me letting you know that this is this dentist and this is how she feels, and to not go to her. And in fact, I think the internet will have a fun time with this. This person should not have a license. This person should not be a doctor. This person should not be a dentist. They should not be practicing on the general public. If you cannot leave your politics out of serving the general public, you should not be serving the general public. My name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
seeing that MAGA dentist say that she treated other patients that weren't MAGA in a more harmful way, or whatever she said, because I couldn't even watch it all without getting upset, it really, really disappointed me. I had so many bad things to say, and I just didn't want to get my account deleted, and I'm really trying to protect my brand. But it made me think about myself and how me as a young Black professional, I have been in several situations where I'm treating patients who are discriminatory against me, who have even called me colored, and I still proceeded to treat a patient after that experience. In the day after the election, I went to work. I had to place an implant on a patient who was celebrating what happened. And as a U.S. citizen, obviously, like, we all have our own political beliefs, and we're entitled to that. We're entitled to support who we want to support. But as a healthcare provider, your job is to treat people, right? And that doesn't say, disclaimer, only people who agree with your political opinions, or only people who look like you, only people who support people that look like you, right? And me, if I could discriminate against people who don't think that I'm qualified for what, just because of the color of my skin, I wouldn't be able to keep my lights on in my home. You know what I'm saying? But when I treatment plan a patient, and when I see a patient is a person. And my job, all the training that I've done and I've amassed, is to treat people. So to have somebody out there representing our profession saying that proudly that she does those kind of things, I need her license going by end of business today. I need board, whatever state she's in, board, I think it's California, Board of Dentistry, because you take people's license for way less. That is ridiculous. That's harmful, that's shameful, it's unethical, and it's a lot of other things that I can't say without cursing. So I just want to put that out there.
It's going to be a very, very long week for those that work in dental care, especially those who are dentists, because now they found out that that dentist who is MAGA, who basically wears a hat that's a spin-off of the saying, silently cuts off laughing gas for patients, who is a pediatric dentist. So you're doing this to children if their parents react in a certain way. Caught on camera saying that. And folks already don't trust dentists because the amount of times we've heard dentists coming up on here judging patients and stuff like that. But this put the nail in the coffin. I'm just curious, to people who did go to that dentist office and then had some pain after the exam, longer than normal, are they liable to sue? Like, can they sue? Because that's crazy. That's insane. That's nerve damage in your mouth. And they're children.
To the owner of Skyline Smiles in Santa Clarita, California, it is your unlucky day, someone I would never call friend. You see, I have just learned that you exist and that you, on purpose, give subpar care to people you don't agree with politically. So here's how we're going to do this, and you better hope you see it. You're going to have 36 hours to come out, issue a very public apology where you donate 2 months of your salary to the Trevor Project, or I am going to make Scotty K Fitness's beef with V-Shred seem like a sibling rivalry as I close out every single one of my videos reminding people around the world to never do business in your shitty establishment. Once again, folks, that would be Skyline Smiles in Santa Clarita, California. Now, since you like to tell folks they're fine and it's not going to be as bad as it seems, well, let's just see how you feel once this is all said and done with, huh? Once you're destitute with no dental license, we'll see if you think a little bit differently. Now, y'all have you a wonderful motherfucking evening. Keep the motherfucking boots out of your motherfucking mouth, and remember that the golden rule will always remain yeehaw fuck the law. I love y'all, and I'll see you down the line. And nobody ever, ever, ever do business with Skyline Smiles in Santa Clarita, California. To the owner of Skyline Smiles in Santa Clarita, California.
In my many different jobs I've had, right, I decided to collect licenses at one point, and I am a licensed insurance adjuster. You want to know who the largest dental provider for insurance is in the state of California? That would be our friends at Delta Dental. Every time you see a post about Skyline Dental, just tag at Delta Insurance Corporation, because I'm sure they would be interested to know that they're being overbilled for pain medication and that they're having services and drugs charged to them that aren't being used. Okay, thanks, bye.
Imagine being a pediatric dentist, and if a person's parent doesn't like MAGA, you make that kid not have as much laughing gas as they should. And these were the same type of people that are trying to get people fired for Charlie Kirk, and this person's actually doing malpractice. Let me show you the clip of what this person was talking about.
So I have a secret hat I use sometimes. It says, make your smile great again. So I wear that when I work with my patients. So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, you got this. It's not as bad as you think it is.
So you are making children go through hell, potentially deal with more pain, just because their parents were uncomfortable with you making a Make Smiles Great Again, because you aren't supposed to be doing things politically in your office. And I don't know. This person needs to lose their license. This person needs to be held accountable. Like, you are firing people for talking about Charlie Kirk, and this person's actually taking laughing gas away from children. It's shameful.
Okay, so this crappy doctor right here is getting flack for, she's in California, and whenever she finds out that her patients are Democrats, she turns down the laughing gas on them. So let me tell you what to do if you run into a doctor who doesn't give the proper care due to their patients' beliefs, okay? I've run into this so many times. One time I had this doctor, she was not going to give somebody pain medication because they didn't believe in a certain vaccine. And I called her out on it. That is what you need to do. You need to start calling them out. She thought I was going to agree with her. She was like, can you believe that they didn't get the blah, 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 blah? And I was like, well, they're entitled to their own beliefs. They're entitled for that. But I still believe that you need to give them this. She was kind of like shocked that I called her out. Yes, you need to call these doctors out. We all have opinions, we all have beliefs, we all have parties or whatever that we believe in, faiths, all that different type of thing. But you should not be treating the patient based off of theirs, okay? That's not what we do. We are supposed to be giving great care to all of our patients. So don't be like this doctors. Don't be like her, okay? And then nurses, don't be afraid to call people out. Will they get mad at you? Probably, but oh well. Yes, I'm just the nurse.
Guys, it's so crazy and very unethical of a professional medical doctor to come and joke about withholding anesthesia from patient just because of their political beliefs or the party that they're actually supporting. And this is not even something to joke about. And the reason as to why I'm saying this, there's so many videos, even like investigation that has been done showing how actually Black women go through a lot while giving birth. And if there are some people who are coming about professional doctors making a joke on holding anesthesia from patients, you can imagine what Black women have to go through when people are talking about labor and why there is a huge number of Black women that actually lose their lives or the baby's life while giving birth compared to the number of white women. So this woman decided, what? This is a joke I'm gonna make, and you've seen what she has in her office, and now she's later coming to say that this was a joke. Mind you, this video is from 2021. It's not even like a new video, but now it has resurfaced online and it's gaining a lot of attention. And she even said on a certain news station that the dental board went to investigate her and they found nothing wrong with that. But I've tried to look for that, but I'm not finding it anywhere. She also went, I think, for an interview where she said, you can't cancel me. And she's also pushing back. She's saying that the remarks were taken out of context, that it was all part of roast-style speech at a Republican women's gala and nothing she actually does in her practice. She claims, as I said, that the dental board did look into it and cleared her of any wrongdoing. And she went on ahead and said in her own words, and I quote, "This is just another attempt to cancel her for political beliefs." Ma'am, people are not canceling you for your political beliefs. It's what you said. Like, I believe that she does this. Because you've seen cases where doctors actually do this. You saw what happened with that girl who they had to put on a life-supporting machine so that the fetus gets up to the weeks that it's ready to be delivered and put in an incubation. This woman, she's a black woman, she went to the hospital. She complained of having severe headaches, and what the nurses did or the doctors did, they just gave her some painkillers and asked her to go back home. She was there asking for a scan for them to get to know what is wrong with her. So when you come and make such jokes online and say that this is just a joke, no, we know that it's not a joke, and we know this is something that you actually believe. And to make even the matters worse, like, she's of Indian descent. It's so sad that each and every single day we are seeing different races doing crazy things which they think are right just to please the other side. And it's so sad that such people have to be doctors, have to be pilots, have to be teachers, they have to be bankers. So they are going to treat people the way they want depending on their political stance, which is quite crazy, and this should not be happening, especially in a democratic country. And I believe that people working in healthcare should put politics out of hospitals, out of clinics, or any other services that they're actually offering to their patients. Just because I'm not supporting the same party like you're doing, or just because I'm against some of the policies and some of the things your political leader that you love so much is saying or doing, doesn't mean that you should be hurting me by denying me anesthesia when I need it. That doesn't mean that I have to go through the pain just because you're not happy that I'm not supporting that political leader that you're supporting. Because to me, this is how I actually translate whatever she said. Just because we are not supporting the same political leader, then I think you deserve to feel pain as I'm working on your teeth, which is quite sad. And I don't even think at this point she should be having her license. The fact that this happened in 2021, I can imagine what more she's been doing over the years and what she can actually do right now, because most of these people are now feeling like they have the power to do what they want without any consequences. I believe that you're living in the United States of America, where you have the freedom of free speech, like free speech, hate speech. You can literally say anything you want, as long as you're not threatening someone's life, as long as you're not unaliving someone, threatening to take someone's life, as long as you're not a threat. But this is a threat to people who are not supporting the same political leader like she is. And also remember, in as much as you want to come out here and shout and rant all you want that you're living in a democratic country that the First Amendment supports and protects your freedom of speech, you have to understand that the First Amendment does not protect you from consequences, which you're actually getting right now, which we've also seen so many people actually getting it right now. Because you even remember that woman who used the N-word on a 5-year-old, and people were like, oh, free speech, she has the right to use free speech and all that. But later, after the consequences came, the First Amendment is not supporting or protecting her from what's happening to her right now. And the same as this dentist, the First Amendment will not protect her from consequences. You can say anything you want, you can joke about anything that you want, but always remember that the First Amendment does not protect you from consequences, and they always come no matter what. Now, I believe that if she's saying that there's nothing wrong with whatever she said, or she didn't mean any harm, I don't see the point of her going on ahead and deleting her TikTok posts and her videos and her account. Like, there is no need for you to do that if you believe you didn't say anything wrong. But she clearly went and did that because whatever she did was wrong, and she knows. And the video is resurfacing and it's getting a lot of attention on TikTok and even different social media platforms. And even right now, as we're speaking, it's on Twitter, which is actually gonna make it trend more than she actually thought it was going to. And she said it was a joke, but now she's coming and deleting all her accounts because she knows what she meant. And it's crazy that we've seen people, especially from the conservatives, making jokes or saying things or coming out with different ideologies or saying different things, and later trying to back down when the consequences are coming, or they're getting attention and they're trying to, oh, I'm sorry, that is not what I meant. You just took this out of context. which we all know that's a lie. I don't know what you all think. Do you think that this was just a bad joke taken too far, or a serious breach of trust for a medical professional? I'd really love to know what your thoughts or what your take is on this. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.